Welcome back to Junior Cycle Business Studies, and in this video I will just be running quickly through how to write an email of complaint. Previously, third year students would have had to write a letter of complaint, but I suppose we are moving with the times, and I suppose we just have to write an email of complaint now, as it's more suitable to most people with the internet and things like that. Okay, so question 16 of the state examination sample paper, and I'm working just from my exam papers here. This is page 62 of the educate.ie exam papers. So question 16, part A, part 1. You sent this text message to a friend asking for consumer advice. She advised you to email the company with your complaint. So the text message says, I bought a pair of runners online and they were damaged when they arrived. What will I do? Okay, so write the email to the company ensuring the following information is included. Use the email address customerservice@runrun.ie. It's very important that you use this and not your own personal email address. Insert the subject of the email in the subject line, I suppose, as not to lose marks. Clearly outline the complaint, and then I suppose to insert a paragraph of your rights to, I suppose, show your knowledge. Okay, so let's go. So use the email address provided. Notice that I'm using a black pen. And I suppose this is very important now for the new junior cycle, as these are going to be marked online. All of these documents are going to be scanned on into a computer and they're going to be marked by examiners online. Okay, so customer service at run.ie. Okay, the subject, don't leave this blank, you will lose marks. Complaint. And this one is regarding damaged runners. Okay, so there we have full marks in those two lines. Now we need to introduce the email. Who are we writing it to? So this is very important. Nice easy one. To whom it concerns. I suppose you don't know the exact name of the person that this email is going to be going to, so this covers a lot. To whom it concerns. Also, you might write, Dear Sir, Madam. Okay, so we want to clearly outline the complaint. Okay, so I'm just going to write a paragraph. I recently purchased a pair of runners from runrun.ie. Okay, upon delivery, I noticed that they were damaged. Naturally enough, I am very disappointed. And I have attached my receipt for your convenience. Okay, so I recently purchased a pair of runners from www.run.ie. Upon delivery, I noticed that they were damaged. I am very disappointed. I have attached my receipt for your convenience. The next part of the question asks us to explain your rights in this situation. Okay, so this is your opportunity to showcase your knowledge of consumer rights and responsibilities and any legislation that you might know. Okay, so another paragraph in line with current legislation. This goes against principles of the sale of goods and supply of Services Act 1980. This Act states that goods must be fit for purpose and of merchantable quality. Okay. As a result, I request that you provide me with a full refund. Okay. So, in line with current legislation, this goes against the principles of the Sale of Goods and Supply of Services Act 1980. This Act states that goods must be fit for purpose and of merchantable quality. As a result, I request that you provide me with a full refund. Now, redress, as we know, the 3 R's: refund, replacement, repair. I suppose the only 2 that apply to a damaged pair of runners are a refund or a replacement. The fact that you'd have to send back a new pair of runners to get repaired wouldn't really be ideal. Okay. The final thing we must do in our email is sign off. Okay. So a good one to remember would just be to write regards and make sure that you sign Kate's name and not your own personal name. Kate. Okay. So that's your email. Remember, very important to use a blue or black pen this year for your state exams, as these are going to be scanned into a computer. And the other most important thing is that you stay within the answer lines. Don't answer outside the lines, because when these are scanned in, you might have a word outside the email which is very important, and you might lose some marks. Okay. Another very important thing, I suppose, to have with you in your exam maybe would be one of these Tipp-Ex mouses. Okay. I also have this one beside me on my desk, but think about your exam situation. This one takes maybe a couple of minutes to dry, gets very messy. This one is instant, so well worth spending maybe €2 or $2.50 on a Tipp-Ex mouse. You get them in a pound shop as well. It doesn't have to be the Tipp-Ex brand. Okay. The final thing I want to talk about in this video, I suppose, is how this letter might be marked. Okay. So I'm going to guess that there's going to be roughly 20 marks going for this question. Okay, so where do we get those marks? Where do we lose those marks? So I'm going to guess, now this isn't the state examinations marking scheme or anything, but I did mark the exams last year, and we marked a letter of complaint. Okay, so they're looking for specific pieces of information in this email. Okay, so I'm going to guess that there are going to be 2 marks going for the email address you're sending it to, 2 marks for a correct or a subject line, introducing the email to whom it concerns, and then explaining itself. So the very fact that you mentioned runners, okay, the fact that you mentioned they were damaged, 2 marks, and I suppose the fact that you thought about attaching a receipt. Okay, then I suppose you're showing your knowledge of your rights and the legislation that's there to protect you. So 2 marks possibly for mentioning the Sale of Goods and Supply of Services Act 1980. You then mentioned the principles of that act, merchantable quality and fit for purpose, 2 marks. And then you showed that you know the fact that redress is what you are entitled to by saying, please provide me with a full refund. And then finally, 2 marks for signing off, regards, Kate. So let's tot them up. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite a detailed letter, but it covers all the points that they're looking for. If you left out any of those points, possibly you'd drop a couple of marks. But if you had the bones of this, you'd scored the majority of the marks. There's no reason why you shouldn't be scoring anywhere between, 16 and 20 marks for this. Okay. I hope you're finding these videos useful. Please give it a like or give it a share on Twitter. Hope to have some more videos up soon. Okay, thank you.